Hey guys, this is Mike from Dallas Geek. Brad's over there. What are you drinking right now, Brad? Tea. Don't care, Brad. Don't care. Awesome. And we are here today with
Charlotte Canion.
Nice of you to stop by, give us a couple minutes to talk about the books that you brought. What did you bring for us?
Well, I brought my first book, which is called You Have to Laugh to Keep from Crying: How to Parent Your Parents.
Okay.
A lot of people are going through this nowadays. My journey started 15 years ago when I had to ask myself, why am I going to give up my job to parent my parents, my full-time job? I had a father-in-law with dementia, a mother with Alzheimer's, dad with Parkinson, all at the same time. 9 out of 10 caregivers are female. I was the only female in the family.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I went through this journey for 15 years, and then God told me to write a book.
Okay.
I said, but God, I didn't do good in English. He said, that's all right, we've got editors for that. My book's been out just a little bit over a year,
okay.
And the Texas authors just voted my book the best self-help book in the state of Texas.
Awesome, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very proud of that because of the subject matter.
Yeah.
Aging seniors is a big subject right now, and I'm just real proud that I'm a part of it.
Well,
I'm also a speaker.
Yeah, and what you just told me, it sounds like this is something that hit you pretty close. So, I mean, if you want to just kind of give us a couple of points that I guess you want to really hit on, please, by all means.
Okay, well, one of the things is I wrote my book with love, respect, patience, and forgiveness. It's written with 23 separate stories. I even have a doctor who wrote a chapter for me.
Okay.
But what I do is address how adult children can learn to reconnect with their seniors again. My mother knew me 6 weeks before she died, and she had Alzheimer's for over 15 years. Now were the days when she didn't know me, but most, that was a milestone because people don't get that. And what I teach kids is to find out what their passion was in the past. There was a lady that came to me after one of my talks, and she said, I'm not connecting with my husband. He's got Alzheimer's. We're really losing connection. And I asked her, I said, what was his passion? What was his career? And she said he was an architectural engineer. He built skyscrapers. I told her to go out and get Legos or Lincoln Logs or erector sets, have him teach her how to build skyscrapers. She came back to me a month later and she said, thank you. We have connected in a way we never have because he was proud to teach me how to do a foundation, how you do the beams, and how to build a skyscraper.
That's awesome.
So I'm teaching them how to reconnect with their seniors and to develop cherished memories.
Yeah.
That's the big thing, is they've got to create those memories. You have memories of when you were children, but create them before they're gone because then you won't have regrets.
Right.
I hate it when someone dies and says, oh, I wish I'd have done that. Or I wish, I had spent more time with mom, or I wish I had spent more time with dad. Because we're all living longer.
Right.
My mom was 93. My dad was 86. I keep telling my kids I'm gonna live to be 112 because I have great-grandparents who lived to be in their 80s at the turn of the century, the 1900s. So, I mean,
That's like with life expectancy just continuing to trend upwards like modern medicine.
And I have this book and I have a workbook the Alzheimer groups are using. And what I've done in this book is I've posed 10 different questions and I give them room to journal. And the reason I want them to journal in this book is to keep all their notes together. A lot of people will write on the back of an envelope or they'll think of something and write on a napkin. I want them to keep them together. And in the back of the book, I actually give them samples, if I can get to it. I give them samples of what they need to have in place, like power of attorneys, medical power of attorneys, DNRs, to have these in place so that, because if you don't have them in place, every state is different, but the state will take over if these are not in place. So what I did was, when I went through the journey 15 years ago, there wasn't anything out there to help me.
Okay.
What I'm doing is trying to help people. It's been called the survival kit, 101 for parenting your parents. It's just all inclusive, telling you, and it's written in a simple form. I'm just an average daughter who had to parent parents and father-in-law. When I was out there, I found books written by doctors, written with medical terms. It was like reading French.
Right.
I never studied French. So.
I couldn't speak a word of it. Yeah. But okay, and so how long has the book been out?
The book's been out a little over a year.
And this is all from experiences that you went through 15 years ago.
Over the last 15 years.
Right.
My mother passed away at 93 in 2016.
Okay.
And that's when I started.
So this has really been like a 15-year process build up to the book, essentially.
Yeah, and it's from my heart and soul, it's story. And you notice it says you have to laugh
Right.
to keep from crying.
Right.
Yes, there are times you're gonna laugh, there's times you cry, but what I try to get to children to do, adult children, I want them to find the humor in everything. Even at the time they're crying, if they can look back to it a few years later and find the humor in it, it will be a cherished memory.
At what point through everything that you had been through did you determine, like, hey, this is something that I want to do, or is this something that you felt like you needed to do, was to put the book out there?
I'll be honest with you.
Sure.
That most of us that write books like this, we write them for ourselves. It's therapy.
Okay.
But what it turned out to be was I'm helping others.
Right.
People read my book and they go want to hug me.
Yeah.
They'll virtually hug me, or they'll try to find out where I'm at. I just wanted to help others not go through some of the pain and agony and learn the hard way. I made mistakes. Don't get me wrong. We're all going to make mistakes, but you have to learn to either get past it and find the humor in it and find the humor with them, reconnect with them. I even reconnected with my mom in ways that people don't really understand, but I used flashcards.
Yeah.
I would show her the color green and she'd go, green. Do you remember that green car? We used to drive up to grandma's house and visit her for the summer. It would trigger stories which made them feel, it made me feel good. I also wrote the book. I have 20 grandchildren.
Wow.
I wrote it as a memoirs for them to remember, their pawpaw and their nana and pop, remember stories about them, and they can, relate back. So it's a little of everything. When we write, we write from our soul. I think everyone does, even when they write mysteries.
Sure.
But this one is a memoirs and when I speak, I find women and men that come up to me and go, oh my gosh, that story about taking the keys away, or that story about, hitting a mailbox. My uncle did that. My aunt did that. They relate to all my stories in one way or another, or at least and my goal is to, if I touch one person in the audience or one person with my book and I've helped them, then I feel like a winner already.
That's awesome. And I guess I'm assuming, because you said you do speaking with it as well, I'm assuming a lot of stories from people coming up and...
Yes, in fact, I've got a new book coming out called Caring for the Caregiver.
Okay.
Written on the same format. It's going to have love, respect, patience, and forgiveness. And those are things. When I speak about love, you have to love unconditionally. Respect. You have to respect your parents or your loved one or your, uncle, whoever you're taking care of. You have to respect them for who, what, and where they are at that moment.
Sure.
And then you've got patience. Well, patience goes both ways. You have to have patience with yourself for the emotions you're going to feel. You have to have patience with them for what they're going to do. And same thing with forgiveness. You have to forgive things they did in the past. You have to forgive what they're going to do in the future. And you have to forgive yourself for getting angry. Why me? Why me? And I just try to address it all. And like I say, that's why we're writing the second book. And I'm writing with a doctor.
Oh, wow.
We're
Okay.
co-authoring it. She came to me and said, hey, I love this book. How about if we co-author the next book? And it's due out this spring.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Yeah, it was actually going to be my next question is if we had a timetable, so.
Yeah, it's due out this spring.
Well, where is this guy available? So
Right
that
now,
people at home
it's
can...
available at bookstexasauthors.com.
Okay.
It's a bestseller on Amazon. And like I said earlier, my book was voted the best self-help book in the state of Texas. I have gone to New York. I'm actually the author of the year for CUTV News, and they're promoting me all over the United States. I have been Skyped into probably 20 different countries.
Wow.
With my book. So we're getting ready to translate it into Spanish.
Wow. That's insane. That's fantastic.
Yeah, God is good.
Yeah. Any plans to go audio?
Yes, in fact, this weekend, I've been thinking about it, been told I needed to do it. I made a good connection this weekend.
That's fantastic.
To get and I probably from what I gather, in 90 days, I will have an audiobook.
Awesome. That's great to hear.
I'm thinking about narrating it myself. I'm a retired actress, and I've been on stage, and I actually am one of Dear Texas Radio. I'm one of their hosts.
Oh, okay.
So I have a little experience
Sure.
on stage and in front of camera, so I'm thinking I can narrate my own book.
Awesome.
I may have a tear roll down my eye a couple of times,
Sure.
but
I feel like that's
the
that's a
emotion
given,
will,
yeah.
will be there, and I would like to,
Absolutely.
do
Absolutely.
my own.
Are we on social media?
Yes, we're in social media. I have my website is www.howtoparentyourparents.net.
Okay.
My Facebook is Parent Your Parents. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram. You can look up, I have about 14 YouTubes out there from radio interviews. I've done over 100 any kind of media, radio, podcasts and webinars and radio, and I just did one Monday with the Senior Zone with Sean Perry out of Washington, D.C. And he's going to have me back on several times. So if you just put my name out there, Charlotte Canion, and it spells Canion, you can find all my YouTubes out there as well.
Awesome, and we're gonna actually put those links down in the description below for this video, so you guys can definitely go check it out. You have the location where you guys can pick up the book, so if anybody's going through what Miss Charlotte went through, or if this can help anybody, please don't hesitate to pick the book up. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you guys, we'll catch you later. Bye, guys.